We are considering why God allows His children to have trouble. Why do we have any trouble, any trials in this world? And we're looking at various scriptures that address this issue. And let me take you back to 1400 years before Christ, when God is delivering the children of Israel out of 400 years of slavery in Egypt. And the Bible says there was two routes they could have gone. They could have gotten on the coastal route going to Canaan, and the journey could have been done in a matter of weeks or maybe months. But God led them through the wilderness, a longer route. Now the reason He didn't take them on the coastal route, there were too many armies they would face, too much opposition, and He was afraid they would lose heart. So He leads this 2 million plus probably Jewish people through the wilderness. But Deuteronomy, looking back on their history, begins to record what happened in the wilderness march. And listen to what he says. Be careful to follow every command I am giving you today, so that you may live and increase and may enter and possess the land the Lord promised on oath to your ancestors. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep His command. He humbled you, causing you to hunger, and then feeding you with manna, which neither you nor your ancestors had known, to teach you that man does not live by bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. But notice what it says in verse 2. He tested you to know what was in your heart. It's amazing that God has got certain tests and certain troubles He puts each of us through to show us our heart. God already knows, but He wants you to know what you're really like. And guess how He finds out? He allows a little bit of testing, a little bit of trouble. Will you trust Him as Job did, or will you curse Him? Will you decide to rely on God, or will you serve notice to Him? You can't do me this way. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody allows pain in my life. And God says, no, I'm going to find out what your heart's really like in the midst of trouble. I used to hear a saying that went, you never know what's in the tea bag until you put it in boiling water. And there's a lot of people that look good. Hollywood people are trained to professionally cry and professionally smile. They get paid to look like all is well. They get paid to show pain. And God says, I've got a method that reveals whether you truly love me, what's going on in your heart. I'm usually a patient person until I have to be. I'm a humble person until somebody tells me to be humble. I like to say I'm a servant until someone treats me like that. Are you really? Are you really a servant? Or is that just some nice Christian verbiage that sounds good? Are you really patient? I don't say that I'm patient because I've got an honest wife that says I'm not. So I'm always having to learn to wait on God, to slow down, and to keep up with His pace. And so God may be giving you this trial you're in to reveal your heart and to show you how bankrupt you are for some Christian virtue. And He wants you to go to Him and say, Lord, help me to trust you on my wilderness march. Help me to rely on you. Help me not to turn from you on anything. I'm going to trust you. I know you're revealing my heart. I want to make heart adjustments even in my trials. Maybe that's the reason I'm having the trial. May God give you strength today in the test of life. May He deliver you. God bless you.